Kent, I want to review your swing lesson from today, and say that I like the way you're set up here. Okay, with your club on this angle, hands just slightly like 5 degrees or so in front of the ball. The straight line down from the ball would be there, and your shaft is tilted a little bit toward the front. That's a good angle for the club. And what you should want to picture in your mind is that that's also the angle that we should come back to as much as possible. Now, as you take the club back, I narrowed your stance a little bit because wide is going to be your swaying off of it. I want to try to keep you from swaying off the ball. That's another reason you will hit behind it. See, that's that move to the outside. You see your knee and your hip go outside. Right? We don't want that. We want to stay over the ball. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, now watch this motion right here. The hip is going to go away from the line. So as he rotates, he is actually moving his hip this way. Okay? As you rotate here, you're going to see it get outside the line. So a lot of your weight of your body now is behind that ball. Here. So that's why sometimes you'll recover very nicely and other times you won't. So I want you to really work on not letting that weight go out. Let's put a wedge or a golf ball under the outside of your right foot. And watch Rory, watch his right foot. It just stays right there. He just plants him. If there was a spike through his whole body here, he'd just be turning right around it. That's why great players are so successful, because they are able to completely rotate their body without the slide. In fact, he's going the other way. And then he drives forward. Then he starts closing the gap. The right knee kicks in. And when he comes through the ball, the upper body is directly over the lower body. There's no hanging back. Okay, we're going to talk about your downswing angle here in a minute too. So you're going back a little bit. Now at impact, we don't have those hands in front anymore, do we? We actually have the club on this angle, not in front, right? We also have this arm going like this a little bit. Address, impact. Do you see where his hands are when he hits the ball? Watch. His hands have moved way forward. They're well over there now, and his body's completely driving toward the target with this gap closing here. Okay? So that's what I want to show you there, is how we can get this a little more consistent for you. So you're going away from it, and the club, where it's right here, at address, is back there at impact. Okay, so let's watch over here closely because some of these pictures can really help. There's the club at address. There's the club at impact. It's driven that far forward by his body moving through. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for, is to get you aware of staying stable over the ball and getting your body through, so that all this gap, like I was telling Laura today, the same thing, all this gap could be closed. This right knee should be kicking in, but when you sway off of it in the backswing, it goes the opposite direction. See, that right knee is going away. And then when it comes down, it never gets caught up with the left. So there's where that's where this look comes from. This and that. So, you know, you've got, as I've said many times, you've got real good power, real good speed, but you have to learn to stay centered over the ball and get through it as you come down into the ball. You've got to get that upper body. By the time he gets his hands over where yours are, I just want you to take a look at what I mean by the upper body over the lower body, not hanging back. He's got no weight on that left toe or that right toe now at all. So you started with those little shots today where you were hitting with pulling the handle in front a little bit. And you see how you have this wrist like this? That's what happens, right, when you cock your wrist in your backswing. See how your right wrist cocks right about now, which is what it should be doing. So then there's a cock in your wrist, or a cup in your wrist, yeah? That's what you have to kind of maintain coming down into the ball. You don't want to get rid of this, because then this one has to cup like this. The objective is to get that left wrist flat and that left arm dead straight. And the more this is over, the upper body is over the lower body, the easier that's going to be for you. Okay? Narrow stance. Stay centered over the ball. Feel like you have a stake through you. You don't shift way out. You don't shift that outside of that right leg. Stay there. And instead of throwing at that club with the right hand, just keep pulling the handle all the way across to your left pocket there. And then get off that right toe completely and just get your upper body over your lower.